Morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Expert Alert here on WLOX. This is where we have experts from different areas, different businesses come in and talk about things that they do for the public. Today we have got Bradford-O'Keefe Funeral Homes back in here with us this morning, and one of the things that we've talked about a lot, pre-need, leading up to the funeral, and and then after that, but there are a new thing that y'all have teamed up with, called Everything After.
Yes, sir.
That you do. Jules O'Keefe joining us here again this morning.
Yes, sir.
And Justin Ireland. First time for you to come on here. What a great day for you to be here.
I know, right?
I know. Here it is, St. Patty's Day, and with a name like Ireland, and then Jules, you were kind of like Irish descent.
Yes, sir. Born into it.
I'm
Yes,
British
sir.
Welsh, so
sorry.
The Brits, we're always causing trouble. But if you would talk a little bit about this, the Full Circle Aftercare that y'all have teamed up with.
Yes, sir. So Full Circle Aftercare and Brighter Mornings are two different companies that we just partner with. Full Circle Aftercare is essentially everything after a service, because a lot of the times families come in and they deal more with at need, more of the arrangements and everything, but then after that's done, they're kind of lost on like, well, what's the next step? What do I do? So Full Circle Aftercare is basically a 5-step process that you're going to go through. Step 1 is going to be avoid costly mistakes, basically getting the essential important documents together, protecting against identity fraud. Then step 2 is going to be navigating the financial maze. And that's one of the things that we do have our memorial asset protection plan for. If you need asset transfers, death certificate information, any of that kind of stuff, that's going to be all encompassing in step 2. Step 3 is going to basically be discover what you're entitled to, because a lot of the times people are just lost. They have all these forms in front of them, accounts, documents, they really don't know what to do with it. So we basically sit down with the family, gather all the information, and kind of just lay it all out there for them and kind of help them think clearly when it comes to that. And then step 4, essentially, that's actually going to be where our Brighter Morning service comes in. It's a whole different separate grief counseling and therapy that we basically help families walk through after a loved one that's passed, after everything kind of calms down and they hadn't had time to grieve. That's where Brighter Mornings comes in. And I like to pass it off to Mr. Justin.
Well, if you would first, Justin, tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been with Bradford-O'Keefe and what you do.
I've been with Bradford-O'Keefe roughly about 7 years with my part-time. I was going to school for this. I work, what we say is upstairs and downstairs. I'm an embalmer and a funeral director. I'm dual licensed. I'm a manager there for their care center, which is where we handle all the embalming and everything. Originally from California, and I'm an Air Force vet, and that's what got me down here on the coast. Thank you, sir. And then, like I said, I married a local woman, and I'm stuck. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you marry a woman from Mississippi, you're not going anywhere.
I don't want to. I don't want to. I love it down here.
That's good. That's
I love
good. Talk about the Brighter Mornings, if you would. What is Brighter Mornings?
So the Brighter Mornings, to me, is the reason I wanted to talk about this is I love it, because people don't realize that when you lose somebody, the grief isn't just instant hit. You have the funeral, you have the planning, you're surrounded by friends, by family, and then after a few weeks, you're alone, and you don't know how to process that, and you really start to get hit with that grief. By using Brighter Mornings, you have everything you could need. Education, it also teaches you how to help a loved one with their grief.
We're looking at some of the information on the website there on everythingafter.com.
And there it is, and you can click on any of those and start that link. It'll get you to the Brighter Mornings. Like I said, it's got a live interaction, it almost feels like, where somebody's talking to you while you make selections and it continues on. It's just nice for people to have a place to go versus being lost now.
Exactly, because again, as you said, when right at the time of the passing and all that, and shortly thereafter, you still have family and friends and loved ones that are there giving you support and everything. And after a while, they start kind of trickling away until you're by yourself.
Exactly.
But and you're still, you still have hard times.
Yeah, it's a wound, right? That's how people describe it. It's an open wound, and eventually it does scar, but it's still there. So the idea is this is to help you heal. So that's the 4th step. It's for you, really, and for your loved ones just to move on.
And of course, you do have the different stages of grief that you go through as well. And you might be hitting them at different times and not really know how to process those feelings.
Right.
And Brighter Mornings is there basically to help you through that. And like Justin was saying, it's an interactive process where you're actually meeting with doctors, certified therapists that'll help you walk through that grief counseling.
And you can choose you can choose anger, depression, if you're feeling that, you can click that specific category and really kind of figure out how to handle it.
And as we saw on the website there, I mean, there's so much stuff that you can click through and go through, and it's, again, it's everythingafter.com. Kind of get an idea as to you know, the different ways that it works with you and everything.
And you can get there from Bradford-O'Keefe.com or BOKFH.com. And just choose the menu option, and it'll have Aftercare on it.
But and Brighter Mornings, of course, you know, is you have people that can work with you as well. I mean, that you know, because it's not something you want to handle alone.
Exactly.
Not at all. It's definitely a collaborative effort where it's going to take multiple people. Once you have a passing, it's going to take multiple people to sit down with you to help you through this process. Whether it be from grief counseling, if you have a personal family lawyer, you're going to sit down with them, and then that's where Full Circle Aftercare comes in, because essentially what they do is they don't take the place of a lawyer. They work in conjunction with your lawyer. So if you do have a family lawyer, they're going to sit down. What a traditional lawyer is not going to do, Full Circle Aftercare is going to kind of take the reins on that. So like helping close accounts, different email accounts, help out with Social Security for identity theft and fraud and those
social media. I mean, we were talking about this
That's
before.
huge.
There's so many things that I still see people on Facebook that, you know, I know have passed, but yet they still have profiles on there, you know, because a lot of people don't know, are not sure, how do I deal with this? Do you just take it off the air? Do you leave it on there and just like do a memorial every year?
And people do all those options. You can designate somebody on Facebook, for instance, to be your Aftercare, so they can manage it in case you pass and close it and that kind of thing. But not every social
And I
media
heard about
platform
that
has
too, that you can go on into your profile and designate someone. You know, once I'm gone, or something happens or something like that, they can go in and they can take care of your profile. But you know, all the other stuff that people don't think about, you know, the financial parts of
Exactly.
it.
Yes, sir.
You know, what about what happens with all my accounts, and especially if it's an unexpected passing.
Exactly.
You know, if it's unexpected passing and you've got loved ones, like, okay, what do I do? What kind of accounts do this person have?
Exactly right. Yeah, I mean, would your older loved ones know how to sell a Bitcoin, right? It's those kind of things that really, and that's the Bradford-O'Keefe thing that we're trying to do with this, is make it so when you come to us, we're not just there with you through the simple part of it that you would think of, just the funeral, right?
Right.
We're there always. You can come to us if you've lost a loved one recently or in the past 2 years, especially with the COVID, everything. This has a specific thing for how to grieve for COVID when you weren't allowed to grieve.
Wow.
So the idea is, if you need help, call us. We're there for you. Once we've met with you, we're with you.
Right.
Always.
And that's one of the reasons that we have expressed the importance of doing pre-need.
Exactly.
Because, you know, you've got all this set up, yeah, and where your counselor sits with you, and you plan all this out. So whenever a passing does come about, that you don't have, you know, you're not, you know, wondering, what do I do? What do I do? You know, I don't know what to do now. Yeah. Because you have the guidance of all that.
Exactly, yes, sir. So basically at Bradford-O'Keefe, we're trying to do everything, trying to help them with their pre-need, their at-need, and then now with Full Circle Aftercare and Brighter Mornings. It's kind of an all-encompassing just service that we're helping with families. And like Justin was just saying, any families that we've met with in the past, if you feel like you need any of this, please reach out to us. You know, please give us a call, and we'll give you all the information that you need to kind of go through this, because it's basically getting all the different documents, the tasks. Right. It can be overwhelming, especially if you're a widow. You know, you don't have somebody there to help you with those decisions and everything. So please give us a call.
And the fact that they may not have passed yet, it's great. It's great educational to go in and see. This is what I have this to support me. You know, I'm not sitting there wondering, okay, when my loved one, what am I going to do? You know, where do I go? Who do I turn to? Kind of thing. This kind of sets you up, and to be able to deal with it a lot easier.
Yes, sir.
Than you can.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I mean, I really think it's an amazing program that we're rolling out. And like I said, or Mr. Justin was saying, basically just go to our website, and then when you click on our menu, you go down to the everything after, and that will actually bring you to the website that you're going to need to go to. You just fill out a little bit of information, and then we'll actually reach out to you and get you all the information that you need on that.
All right. Thank y'all for coming. And
Yes, sir.
this is a great program that y'all have on there now. It's called everythingafter.com. Of course, Bradford-O'Keefe Funeral Homes, they'd be happy to sit down and talk with you about this. Justin, great meeting you. Jules,
you,
always
sir.
a pleasure.
Always, yes,
Anything.
sir.
And thank you for being here with us again on this edition of Expert Alert.
If you have a question for any of our experts, go to WLOX.com and click on Expert Alert. For a list of any of our upcoming experts, go to WLOX.com and click on Expert Alert.